Prince William is pushing for more restrictions around potentially harmful content online in order to stop more children having easy access to it.
Yes, the recent Molly Russell inquest concluded that the 14-year-old schoolgirl died by self-harm whilst suffering negative effects of online content. And Molly's father, Ian, is also campaigning for better protections against potentially dangerous social media algorithms.
Well, let's talk to the chairman of Safe2Net, a software development firm which tries to stop children having access to dangerous content. That's Richard Percy. Richard, good morning to you. We're always told by these big tech companies that this is very, very difficult to do. Is it really?
Well, it is difficult to do, but it isn't impossible to do. You know, I run a company which is a great British startup, tiny in comparison to a Meta or a Pinterest or a Twitter or any of these guys. And if we're capable of writing technology that can detect and filter harm in real time, then you've got to ask yourself, why can't they? They can afford to employ the greatest graduating talent out of Stanford, pay them an absolute fortune. I can't afford to do that, but I can still employ great people who can write great technology that can keep our children safe online.
The question is next, why don't they? If it's possible, why aren't they doing it?
Well, there we go. Was it bad news sells newspapers and all that? They make a ton of money by allowing people to say what they like, do what they like, talk to whoever they want, whenever they want, and so on. They make an absolute fortune out of it. And so fundamentally, this comes down to commercial greed.
And what sounds astounding to a lot of people, which you don't necessarily realise, is that it's certainly in the case with Molly Russell, she's clearly looked at some images and some stories for various reasons, but it's the algorithms then that are then throwing more of this material at her. Surely, I mean, that could be stopped tomorrow, couldn't it?
You are absolutely right. Look, what was it? 53 years ago, we were able to put a man on the moon. Do we honestly think it is not possible to write competing algorithms to stop that sort of perpetuating spreading of hate and harmful content? We can absolutely do it. You know, on the outbreak of the pandemic, look at how the world got together and within a space of a year was able to create a vaccine to tackle COVID. If we all got together, the safety technology companies worked with government, worked with handset manufacturers and so on, we could have this problem licked pretty quickly.
Well, the coroner yesterday was very outspoken about it, and so has Prince William been today. It's the lead story in the Daily Telegraph, for instance. Do you welcome that, the fact that they are trying their best to make this high profile and to actually demand some action?
Oh, very, very, very much so. See, one of the challenges of my job is I get to see about all of this harmful content. I get to see how children are harmed for the rest of their lives. I mean, the reality is that the whole world, we're living in a social experiment, and that experiment being the life of living our lives online. And children spend the majority of their time online. You know, when I was a boy, I used to snuggle up with mum and dad on the sofa on a Saturday night and watch TV. That doesn't happen anymore, as you know. So Prince William saying what he's saying, I think is great news. And I wish more would follow. He's absolutely right to say what he's saying. These devices, these smartphones, gaming platforms, IoT devices and so on, they should be safe out of the box. It's an absolute nonsense that a parent can give their child a smartphone and the moment they do it, they don't know who their child is talking to, what they're seeing, what they're saying, and so on. So he's right. It should be safety by standard. These devices should be safe out of the box.